Morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's lesson will be on multiplication. Again, this lesson is aimed at your 11, 12, 13 year olds, depending on what curriculum you are doing, but all schools will be doing this section of work, so it is an incredibly important section of work to get right. Okay, alright, so we're going to start with multiplication, and we're going to do it in column method. So column method is a very easy way of multiplying. It's a much easier way than expanded notation and trying to multiply out in such a long way. So column method makes life a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set it up. You're going to have 456 times by 72. Now again, remember to keep your stuff in columns. Okay, one directly underneath each other. Okay, I'm just going to draw my lines while we're at it. Please use a ruler. Okay, nothing better than nice neat work. You can have the worst handwriting ever, but if you set your work out neatly, you can still have a neat book. Okay, all right, moving on. So when we're doing multiplication, we start with the number at the bottom. We start with the units, and we're going to times out 456 times 2. So I'm going to write it here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to almost like ignore the 7 and just times out, but we're going to start from right and move left. So we're going to go 2 times 6 is 12. We put a 2 here. Because I can't put the 1 here, because that's just going to look odd, I'm going to carry it, and I'm going to give 1 to the 5. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to have 2 times 5 is 10, add the 1, and that makes it 11. And we do the same thing. We're going to put a 1, and then we're going to put a 1 in the corner there by the 4. And we're going to do again, same thing. 2 times 4 is 8, add the 1, and you're going to get 912. If you get a calculator out, you'll see that 456 times 2 is actually 912. Okay, but remember, in school we don't really use calculators in the junior phase or the primary schools, hence why we are teaching you these methods. Okay, next one. We are going to now do 456 times 70. Sorry about the shadows. Okay, which means that I have to put something called a magic 0 here. Because we're working with 7, remember 7 is in the tens column. So we need to put in that magic 0, and we're going to put the 0 there. Okay, now we can go with our 7, 456 times 7, because we've put the 0 there. So 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, and we're just going to go over this and put a 4 there because we need to carry the 4. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 is 39, and we carry the 3. Just remember to try and write over your numbers if you are carrying over again, because sometimes we get confused with all the numbers that are there. And then your last one is 7 times 4 is 28, 28 plus 3 is 31. Oops, I didn't draw my lines long enough, so no harm done. Let's just take the ruler and just extend our lines. And now we're going to add them. Okay, once you've done those two, you'll notice that 456 times 2 is 912. 456 times 70 is 31,920. Now, since we've got those two, we can now add them. Okay, so we're going to add 2 and 0 is 2. 1 and 2 is 3. 9 and 9 is 18, carry the 1, 1 and 1 is 2, and you've got a 3. And you end up with 32,832. Okay. Okay, moving on to the next one. I'm going to do this one first before I head that side, because you'll notice this number's a bit bigger. So let's just do this one at the bottom here. It's the same concept. We're going to do 4,872 times 26. We're going to put a times there. And we'll get our ruler and just put that there, just so we've got making my lines a little bit longer just in case. And we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did before. Now you don't necessarily have to write this out. I'm just writing it out so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this time we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start with times 6, and then we're going to do times 20. So I'm going to write it here just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and it's the same number, like that, 4,872 times 20 and times 6. Okay, all right, starting with the times 6. So we've got 6 times 2 is 12. Remember, I can't write the 1 here. I've got to carry it. 6 times 7 is 42. 42 plus 1 is 43. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 4 is 52. And 6 times 4 is 24, plus 5 is 29. Okay, next one. Remember, we're timesing by 20 now, so we need to put our magic 0. Okay, now everyone knows their 2 times table, I hope. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14, so we're going to carry a 1 there. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. And 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I'm just going to move my plus sign across there because it got in the way. Sorry, guys. Okay, and we are going to now add. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. 2 plus 4 is 6. 9 and 7 is 16. And 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 9 is 12. And your answer is going to be 126,672. So you'll notice, obviously we're doing multiplication, which means that your times tables and your multiplication tables are incredibly important. You know, if you need to use your fingers, use them. Go for it. Okay? That's what they're there for. Okay? Use your fingers. But at the end of the day, you do need to know them quite quickly. So try and practice them often, because this will help you to do this much faster. Okay, let's do the next one. 1,253 times by 226. Now this is a long one. Okay, you'll notice that if you look at the number at the bottom, the 226, there are 3 lots. So we're going to times, and I just want to show you before I draw my lines, we're going to times 1,253 times by 6 first. Then we're going to take 1,253 and times it by 20, because remember we've got 26 now. And now we've got 1,253 times by 200. So we're going to have 3 rows of numbers to add at the end of this one. Okay, so we need to check that we have got enough space for this. Okay, put the plus sign a little bit further this time. Okay, and we're going to start again. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. And 6 times 1 is obviously 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay, and we've got that. So we've done the 6. Now we're going to work on the 20. So we know we're working with 20, so we need to put a magic 0. So now we're going to do 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. We're going to carry a 1 here. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And 2 times 1 is 2. Okay. Alright. And then you can do your next number. Now we're timesing by 200. So now we have to have 2 magic zeros, because we've got 2 over there. You'll notice here we only had 1 because we only had 1 over there. Okay, same thing. We're going to have 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And 2 times 1 is still 2. And we're going to have to extend my lines again, because I clearly didn't do that long enough. Okay, and there's no harm in doing this. Okay, alright, now we're going to add them. 8 plus 0 is 8. 1 and 6 is 7. 5 plus 6 is 11. So we carry 1. 8, 7 and 1 is 8, plus 5 is 13. 1 and 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. And 2 on its own is 2. And we are finished with multiplication. Thanks guys for listening and watching my video on multiplication. Check back later and you'll see I'll have one on division as well, and we'll be moving on to other topics in due course as well. So if you want, please subscribe to my channel. Have a look at my website, www.mrsdupreer.co.za. It is here and it is in the description as well. There are hundreds of packs of worksheets, study packs on all subjects, and they can help you. They really, really can help you. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.